We're going to be making French toast, all right? What is French toast? Most of you probably know you've had it before. You eat it, eggs, milk, whatever, and you cook it up. But I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is. Okay, French toast is a custard, all right? It's a custard that's used in bread pudding. It's in flan or creme caramel, creme brulee or burnt cream, quiche. These are all the same things. It is a custard that's can be savory or it can be sweet. In a French toast, it's sweet. Now, it can be also done as a dessert. You can use all kinds of different bread with it, like in bread pudding. Basically, they do the same mixture that I'm about to make, and we pour it over old bread, whether it's sourdough bread or any other style of bread, and you bake it in the oven. You serve it with ice cream and a sauce. It's a dessert. This particular one will be, obviously it's going to be breakfast. So I'm going to start with what a custard is. A custard is eggs and dairy or milk or half and half, okay? So it's going to actually come to the eggs and the cream make the product come together. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and add, we're going to add eggs. Okay, I got my eggs, I don't have enough eggs. Over here, a couple more. Here we go. You know, my eggs are in here. We're going to be using half and half. Now you can use milk, you could use cream, or you can use half and half. And if you don't know what half and half is half milk and it's half cream. Half and half. That's why they call it half and half. It's both, all right? So it's used a lot in cooking. Now we got eggs, and that's your basic custard mix right there. So now we're going to go ahead and flavor it. So I'm going to put a little bit of nutmeg in here. Pinch of nutmeg. Okay, I'm going to put some cinnamon in here. A little bit of cinnamon. Okay, we're going to do a cinnamon one, so I'm going to go ahead and put quite a bit. There we go. Now we're going to put some sugar. All right, so we're going to use, again, we're using granulated sugar because we're definitely cooking this. It's not something that's going to be served cold. One. Okay. All right, we're going to add some salt. Okay, over here, going to set a little bit of salt inside. All right, vanilla. Going to add vanilla. You can add, I'm going to add a teaspoon, so I'll use the cap again. You can add as much as you want. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and mix this with the whisk. All right. So I got cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, eggs, half and half, vanilla, and salt. This is a basic custard mix. Really, really simple. We will be making quiche later, and you're going to see that it's very similar, except for it won't be sweet. Okay, you gotta mix this up. Okay, get it nice. This is a nice, you can smell the cinnamon in here. All right. Got that up, got that up. All right, that looks pretty good. So you get it all mixed. And then I'm going to pour this in another container. And we're going to go to the griddle in a minute. I'm going to show you here. That looks pretty good. Get that all mixed up. Oh, yeah. There we go. Looks good. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in another container with a flatter bottom, which is easier to use than the round one. There we go. All right. Okay, next thing we're going to make is we're going to learn how to candy a nut. We're going to be using pecans. This is a simple way to candy something. What does candy mean? We're going to cook it with sugar. We're going to use cinnamon, a little bit of salt. Sometimes they use what they call bar nuts or beer nuts, and they use peanuts, and they use salt, sugar, and they even put cayenne pepper to give them a little bit of spice. So you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do a little bit of cinnamon and sugar, and we're going to candy a nut. We're going to use pecans. It doesn't matter what nut you use. You do it the same way. This is a really simple way to do it. So you got your pecans here. We're going to put them in here, and I'm going to get them wet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water. I'm going to use warm water. Turn this down, and I'm just going to let it run. Okay, you got to get them nice and coated. You want them moist. There we go. That should work. Drain some of the water off, okay? I'm going to put them back in our bowl. Really, really simple. Now we're going to go over here and I'm going to put some sugar in it. So I'm going to take some sugar. We're using granulated sugar. Remember, it is going to get, we only use powdered sugar when you're not going to heat something up. Here we go. A little bit of sugar. So I put a little bit of cinnamon in them. pinch of cinnamon. And I'm going to put a pinch of salt, just a little bit of salt. All right, then you're going to toss them. Make sure you get them nice and coated with that sugar, and they're tossed. You know, all that there should be quite a bit. These are candied. They're supposed to be sweet. So you got to make sure you get that sugar on them. Now we're going to take them and I'm going to put them on. This is just parchment paper, right? Get all that on there, and now we're going to bake them. Put these in the oven, and we're going to bake them. Pecans have come out of the oven. The sugar is caramelized on them. They're extremely hot, and they are not crunchy yet. So what you do is you just let them set on this pan. It'll take another 10 minutes or so. They're going to firm up, and they will get nice and crunchy, and they'll have that nice caramelized sweetness to them. So we're just going to let them set here, and I'll show you how we're going to use them on our French toast. Now we're at the griddle, just like when we were doing pancakes last time. So we got the same griddle option here, or you can use a pan over gas, or you can use a griddle that's on the gas stove, remembering to go up and down. Now these don't take a long time to cook. So you can use butter, or you can use oil. I actually have some in here. I got the other one. I'm going to use this one instead. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and spray the pan. Get it so it's nice and sprayed so it doesn't stick. Perfect. Next thing you're going to do with these are you put them in. I have a flat bottom rather than a round bottom. If they work easier, I'm using Texas toast. You can use any type of bread you want. It could be a sourdough bread, it could be a thin bread. This is traditionally what they use in breakfast houses, the Texas toast, the thick one. So I turn it in. See how I'm doing? I'm just going to turn them a few times. Boom, that's done. Okay. Down. Hit it again. 1, 2. Turn it. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Done. Next one. Same thing. I'm just turning them fast. Otherwise, you will get them over soaked. Keep turning them. Boom. Just like that. Let it drain out. Put it on the griddle. All right. Now we're going to let them set for a minute or two, and I'll show you how to turn them. We're going to check on them. Just like the pancakes, we look to see. They're nice and brown underneath. They look good. Now we're going to go ahead and do one flip. Boom. They look good. Boom. Get the other one here too. All right, now we're going to let them see. Got that nice golden brown. They look perfect. Give them another minute or two, and they should be good. Go. So now we've cooked our French toast. I put it on a platter this time, what I had in here, and we're going to go over the things that we've done. So you can hear that these are nice and crunchy now. Those are the caramelized nuts, the sugar, the cinnamon, a little bit of salt. We just baked them, and now you got a nice crunch to them, and they have that caramelized sugar on them and cinnamon. They're good. Then you got your nectarines that we peeled. So there's no skin on these. We took them and we put them in the water for 20 seconds and we peeled them. We're going to put them on. We have strawberry. I just have powdered sugar, and we had some cream left over, so I whipped up some of the cream that we had left over from the pancakes. So we put this together. I cut them. You guys can do whatever you want. I still have some of this left, so I'm going to use a little bit of the syrup. A little syrup on here. I'm going to take a little bit of our nectarines that have no skin. These are nicely cut nectarines. Perfect. Look at that. And we're going to take we got our fan strawberry that we made. We're just going to put what we got. I have these left over from, we had pancakes last time, so I got some of this stuff here. We're just going to use what we got. Take a little bit of the mixed fruit on here. Right. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to take our crunchy nuts that we made. And just kind of put these around it. Yeah, a little bit of that on here, just like that. Okay, so you got the nuts. So we got nuts on there. Now we're going to finish it with a little bit the cream. You're going to do the 2 spoons. So what you do is, this was done the same. So you take 2 large spoons. You take it like this, and you go a couple times until you make a nice, smooth little dollop. And you go ahead and put that right there. A nice little dollop. Looks perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and put a little fresh piece of mint. So we're going to do this little fresh piece of mint on there. Look at that. It's getting there. We're getting there. Now we're going to take a little bit of our snow. We'll put a little bit of our powdered sugar. Just like we did on the for the pancakes. Just a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. That is perfect. This one here, since it's cinnamon, I'm just going to give it a dollop. Just a little dollop on the, so you'll see that on there. Look at that, just a touch on there. And there you go. There's a platter of French toast you guys will be making.